Happy 1-year anniversary to Polkadot Blockchain Academy. Polkadot Blockchain Academy 1주년 축하드립니다.
Glückwunsch zum einjährigen Jubiläum der Polkadot Blockchain Academy.
Congratulazioni per il primo anno del Blockchain Academy. Have fun.
יום הולדת ראשון שמח לפולקדוט Blockchain Academy.
Поздравляю всех с годовщиной Polkadot Blockchain Academy и желаю всем успехов, кто сейчас в Беркли.
I'll start. I am Francisco Aguirre. I come from Uruguay. I'm currently employed at Parity, working on XCM, and I was part of Wave 1. I've been a web developer for like 5 years now, and a blockchain developer since like a couple of months ago. That's it. Dan, you go.
Yes, my name is Daan van der Plas. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm also currently an employer of Parity as a support engineer in the delivery services. And my software career is 1 year of, what is it? A programming school, like of the 42 network. I don't know if people know it. And then the academy. So 1 year of C, and then now almost 1 year of blockchain/Polkadot. Valentin.
Thanks, Dan. So I'm Valentin Fernandez. I'm from Argentina. I was part of Web 2 here in Argentina, of course, and I've been working in Parity for the past, 2 months. I've been a developer for a little over a year, so I started last April, and started with some TypeScript and then moved to Rust and went straight to the academy. Do you want to go now, Juan?
Sure. My name is Juan Ignacio Rivas. I'm originally from Argentina, the South Patagonia region. I just finished university now, but I did a 6-month internship for a parachain called Accurast in Switzerland. And from there, I went to the academy in Buenos Aires. And after the academy, I took a full-time offer for Polymech, another parachain. And yeah, I guess that's it. Tomás.
That's great. Well, I am Tomás Rauski. I am from Argentina too. I was part of the Web 2 that was in Buenos Aires. I have been working in technology for 20 years. And well, nowadays I am working on a project that we won a grant from the Web3 Foundation, and we are developing with some friends from the academy a payroll system on Ink. Well, I am in the blockchain ecosystem for 2 years approximately. And if you want to continue, sorry, that's good.
Okay, ladies last. Hi, I'm Zoe Isabel. I was part of the first cohort of the Polkadot Blockchain Academy. I have almost 4 years of experience as a software engineer, specifically in backend. First, it was in JavaScript, then I moved to Golang, and then for the academy, I learned Rust. It was tough, but also an amazing programming language. And yeah, I'm from Spain, but nomading a bit, so currently in the UK. And yeah, I organize a bunch of events here, and currently organizing the first major blockchain conference in Oxford. So yeah, where I was using Golang for my job, every time I had to write like a script for myself, I would default to JavaScript. Like JavaScript is just so quick to me. Yeah, little confession.
Yeah,
In the end, we would all just rather use JavaScript. Don't quote me on that.
For nothing critical.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, I am in the same spot. But now I really love Rust. So I am thinking to start doing some stuff in Rust for myself.
Rust is the future, man. We have to learn it all we can now before the robots take over.
Yeah, we should learn Rust to program the robots who will take us over.
Yes.
because they will definitely not be written in JavaScript. So that would be hell.
That's a good
I'm
strategy.
actually hoping that the robots help us write Rust, because that will make it so much easier, and especially help us debug Rust.
But you have the compiler errors.
It's easier to
Yeah.
debug
That's
Rust than JavaScript.
Of course, yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure. That's for sure.
Honestly,
we
yeah.
learned, or if something you learn building in Rust, is that the compiler is great. That's for sure. The errors are just easy to read, but extremely easy than JavaScript.
Yeah.
You need to not get too frustrated though, because to actually run your program, it's like 15 minutes of fighting the compiler. Like, please let me code. No, no, no. Please, can I code? No, no, not yet. After 15 minutes, then it works. Then you change something, and then more 15 minutes talking to the compiler. Can I please run my code?
But then,
Not yet.
but by then you've evolved and improved
Of
your
course.
programming skills.
Then you're pretty sure your program is correct. In JavaScript, you never know. Maybe in prod, sometime it will explode and you don't know why. Which in blockchain, I guess you don't want to.
We all learn Rust for the academy.
No,
Yeah,
I learned it for my internship that I mentioned before, but it was for Substrate specifically. I didn't learn Rust outside of Substrate.
I was. They told me that I was able to do the exam 5 days before the exam closed instead of 2 weeks before, and I had to learn Rust in what 2-3 days and do the exam. I was coding for easily 8-9 hours a day, and managed to finish like 5 hours before the deadline. It was
That's
pretty
a
crazy
real.
week, I would
That's
say.
the real academy experience. You see, you were properly prepared for the academy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, definitely.
They prepared you for the real thing.
I'll give you 2 days.
I learned Rust on my own just because I found the book. I don't remember who shared the book with me, but I remember reading it, thinking it was cool, and I had like 1 week off from many things. I don't know if I was on holidays or something, and so I spent the whole week reading the book, and then started making little programs in Rust, but never actually used it for anything. And yeah, then the academy came up, and it was my chance. I used it for video games before the academy, so nothing blockchain related.
Pretty cool though. Did you use async or multi-thread?
No, actually, I think I've never touched any of those. Well, I tried to use Tokyo a bit just for web servers because that was what I was used to. But in the like video game space, I only used frameworks that were already there. I have some questions to kickstart more conversation about the academy.
No. Okay.
So if you could describe the academy experience in one metaphor or symbol, what would it be?
So I heard a friend from the academy that he described it in the best way possible, and basically 50 to 70 people that you watch them turn throughout the weeks. They start becoming insane, and then at the 4th week everything ends, you're happy and everything works.
Okay, that sounds like the life of a programmer, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's the life of a programmer crammed into 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, it's not only a life of a programmer, because, for example, for our cohort, there were some, what is it? Astrophysics, yeah. So we're not only like real programmers, it was just a class of geniuses. but everyone had to work as hard as everyone else, which was kind of cool, which created this whole cohesive, collaborative group of people that wanted to, I don't know, learn something very difficult, which was cool.
It was a very humbling experience. Personally,
Yes.
I've never been in a
Yeah.
room with so many smart people
exactly.
I didn't know so many incredible, talented people could not be just in one place, and it was.
You had to be
absolutely
sharp
crazy.
like every second of the day, because also when you were talking to other people, it was like, yeah, you needed to be on point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
definitely.
when you saw the
No.
code, like the exercises or the projects that like the people who already were working with Rust were doing, I was like, okay, try not to cry. Like I was a beginner and they were writing like super hardcore Rust stuff. I was like, dude, I don't want to submit anything. Like I'm embarrassed. So yeah, I relate.
Sorry, at least in Wave 2, everyone was pretty nice. So you could ask for help, and people who knew were more than happy to give you a hand with Rust or Substrate. So I didn't feel like I was alone or anyone was feeling left out.
Man, Francisco was my hero. First of all, he is like his hands on the keyboards. It's like I don't know. It's like a man with a sword. Like it's an extent of his arms. But he was so fluent, and I was just sitting next to him, and he was also coding on the music, which was in the lecture hall. But yeah, like nice people that help. That was very useful during the academy.
Yeah, for me
Yeah, we
was
had nice
for
people in
sure.
the first wave.
Yeah, in the second wave too, and for me for sure was an intense experience, but not in a bad way. When you say bad, it's very intense, but we were very chill in the space. We have a great space to co-work and to play ping pong and to do a lot of stuff. And I remember talking with a lot of people on my first challenge about Substrate that for me was impossible. And then I go through the days and finally I did it. But wow, that was very difficult for me. Yeah, my first challenge in Substrate, it was for sure difficult. Maybe the Wave 3 has more backup in some YouTube videos that I am seeing now that a lot of people are building. So, but that was for me the first time I saw Substrate. So very difficult and intense for sure.
Yeah, I think one big challenge is that you cannot go on Stack Overflow usually and find answers there. There is the Substrate Stack Exchange, but it changes so often that it's probably old by now what their answers. So it's a lot of just reading your own code and asking people. But that's why the
Reading the
academy
source
is
code.
good. Yeah, reading the source code, and Rust is amazing for that because it's very verbose. And also in the academy, it's an amazing place to learn all of this that you wouldn't learn anywhere else.
I bet the documentation has been expanded much more than for the first cohort, because they gathered a lot of feedback from us of like stuff that we couldn't find. So yeah, you guys thought it was hard for you. Well, imagine in the first batch.
Yeah, we heard that for the first wave, you had to do the whole assignment at once, like by the end, and you're just pulling your hair out. Is that true?
Yeah, but some people didn't sleep
Yeah.
for 36 hours.
Okay.
Oh, there was one guy in the morning who came to breakfast with literally like the keyboard printed, like the shape of the book printed, because he literally fell asleep on the keyboard. Yeah, while writing the assignment, like he didn't sleep. Well, he ended up falling asleep. But yeah, he tried to stay up to finish the assignment.
The final assignment, we had it, like they told us that we were going to have a final assignment that would be to use Frame to develop a palette right after the lecture on Frame. So it was like, hey guys, this is Frame. This is how you use it.
Now go and write Uniswap
assignment.
with it. Yeah, it was exactly like that. This is Frame. You just learned about it. Now go create your own Uniswap with it.
Yeah, so they really told you what to expect, Valentin, when they gave you just like 3 days to learn Rust. It was basically the whole week we had to do the palette while we learned Frame. Because it was also on Friday, I think, that they gave us Frame, and then they said, okay, you have the weekend. But we didn't know it.
Francisco, but something important to say in in this Zoom that we are building is that it's not impossible. We all did it, so we are okay,
Yes.
and I think it's okay. You will do it for sure. So it's
Yeah, for
difficult.
sure.
Yeah, you have to stay maybe a lot of hours in front of the computer trying to solve it, but at the end you will do it.
Yeah, it's doable
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
also
Actually,
as
I want to ask you guys from the second cohort, how was it for you, the final assignment? I mean, I'm not sure if we're able or we're supposed to give out all the information, because for us, it was sort of kept a bit secret until the last week. But if you can tell us a little bit, like how was it in terms of difficulty? Did you feel like you were quite prepared to tackle it? Yeah.
Well, in our case, we didn't have one assignment. I think that's an improvement from wave 1. We had 4, but they were way shorter. So we had the first one, which was mainly just crypto and what was it, game theory. So it was to code a little bit of the fundamentals that we learned that week. Then we had what was it? Substrate fundamentals, like building something without frame. Then the third one was similar to yours, so building like a Uniswap clone, a voting system. But instead of giving it on a Friday, what they did is they gave us the assignment on Monday. We did a new frame at that time, so they said, rate it, you won't understand what you have to do. On Friday you will understand and you will be able to code it, but at least you know that this is here and you can start preparing for it. And then we had a fourth one, which was XCM, I think.
XCM, yes, XCM, yeah, for sure. Well, it was difficult, but not so difficult as the one of Substrate. So I think the third one was.
Yeah, the frame one was the hardest one, I think, for me too. And I had experience writing palettes, but I chose the Uniswap one. And there was already an implementation on GitHub, but I was like, yeah, I don't need that. I know already how to write a palette. But trying to do math in Rust, or you cannot use floating point numbers, you have so many restrictions, and
yeah, that sucks.
To write these liquidity pools, and yeah, not taking any inspiration was playing against me for sure. But it was fun.
I remember talking with Joshi about the problems, and well, there are a lot of people that helped me in the process of building it, so you are not alone, basically. Not only the teacher, we have some other people that are in the room that are from Parity or maybe another parachain that are there to help and build the project.
If there's two big takeaways I would have from that frame exercise would be to ask people more, especially your colleagues, because everyone knows like just a piece that you need and you can stick it together. And also save one day for testing, because I did a test like in the last 5 hours of the evening.
No.
Wrong decision. I should take a whole day.
I did all the, like, my development process was basically doing tests, because just if you compile everything to run it, it took so long that like on the first day I learned to do tests and was evangelizing people on doing tests just because they were so much faster.
Yeah, that is a life hack you need to know. It's like to set up your mock environment to just, instead of building it again and again the entire time, you can just do unit tests. It's much faster. I didn't know it as well. I did exactly the same thing the night before I had to submit it. I started my tests and they all failed, and then and it worked.
So actually, Francisco, we have transitioned naturally into another question, which was, what would you recommend? Like, what was the tip you would give yourself? I think you have a question. Maybe you can read it.
Yeah, the question was, if you could go back in time to your first day of the academy and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be? You're
Play
saying
more
it would be testing?
Learn Rust. Learn Rust really well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially,
I feel
like,
that's totally true.
Like traits, especially traits and generics, I feel like if you're comfortable with that, I don't think you're gonna struggle that much with Substrate. Definitely the first 2 weeks, I spent most of my time fighting with Rust instead of learning Substrate itself.
Yeah, we know that you
Yeah, I
learned
think-
Rust in 3 days, Valentin. Now we know.
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
think coming from languages, like dynamic languages like JavaScript that we talked a bit about, you are so far away from compile time checking and static checking, and so much of Substrate is all done in compile time, like the config traits and associated types and so on. So many people struggle with that.
Mhm.
It is hard.
But nowadays, most
Literally.
languages are like dynamically typed.
Sorry.
It is hard. Like literally, I'm still sometimes if I'm very deep in Substrate, I'm still like trying to wrap my head around this trade jungle. I'm getting there, but
Yeah.
like it's very complicated. But yeah, if I would give myself a tip, or if I could say something to myself at the beginning of the academy, I don't know, probably just to take care of yourself, like during the whole month. I like kind of degraded a little bit with sleeping and with everything, and then eventually it just takes the best of you. But yeah, that's easier said than done.
Is your tip actually don't go partying too much, or
Well,
be
we
honest?
didn't party that much. No, like we had, I think we had a drink every weekend. One was it maybe I think on Friday or whatever. But that's fine. We should be able to do that. Like you should also get to know your your academy friends a little bit more than just talking about Substrate.
Oh, actually, before, sorry, you, Juan, you also wanted to say something, but actually you reminded me of another thing that I would like to tell the people who are looking into joining the academy, or maybe they got accepted and they're watching this, which is that usually on the weekends, I don't know if it was still like that for cohort 2, but on the weekends you would have like the sort of teachers available in a sort of co-working room, so you could go there and study and ask them questions. And that's, first of all, a really good opportunity to also get to meet the other students, but also I really recommend to not skip those and actually use that opportunity to learn Substrate really well. Yeah. I'm sorry, you, Juan, wanted to give a tip also.
I forgot, so it's fine.
So if I'm not important,
remember.
you will remember. But I think for sure to enjoy it, the first thing I will recommend to myself is don't be stressed. You will be okay at the end. But now it's easy to say that. But yeah, for me it was very difficult because I live in Argentina, 10 blocks from where the academy was, and when I finished courses, I have to came back with my family. I have two children, so I have to be with all my children, and then when they go to sleep, to start coding. So, whoa, for me it was very difficult, but it was okay. I think if for anyone who are planning or are in the academy, I think just enjoy it. It's a pretty good experience, maybe a unique experience, because you will have the best teachers about Polkadot. So you will learn it for sure. So enjoy.
Yeah, for me it was
It's
very unique. I had never seen so many people from different countries on the same place before, and also they were giga brains, and most of them, and like they knew stuff that I didn't even know existed in many things, and so just talking to everyone was unique enough.
I also want to add, that was the first time where I met a person from Iceland. Like I remember
Oh yeah, true.
put like pins on the map. Remember, like there was this big like world, like the world atlas, and we all put like the pin from where we were from, and we were looking at it and we were like, wait, someone's from Australia, someone's from Iceland. This must be a troll. Like I remember we were saying that, but no, it was true. So I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just taking some time to sit with someone and just chat it's a great opportunity because there's people from every background you could imagine. That's something that really blew my mind when I was at the academy. Even like fourth week into the academy, I would sit with someone that I never talked to. We would just sit on breakfast, start chatting, and then a great friendship would start there.
Yeah, definitely. I learned stuff not even related to blockchain, just talking with people who are at different stages of their lives, just explaining the whole experience, their careers. It was great to meet so many people.
I think the best advice I could give, especially to the people that are gonna go to the next wave, which I think they are gonna have the Sunday free. They won't have assignments on Sundays, so I would definitely recommend them to just take a time to relax, or at least try to avoid touching any code on Sundays to clear your mind a little bit, because you can really get into a rabbit hole there and start getting stressed and get really tired at the end.
Yeah, definitely try to go outside, see the sky, talk with your classmates, socialize, try to clear your head.
Yeah.
No, the
Touch
cities.
grass. It's like the meme in the crypto Twitter. Go touch grass.
Yeah, exactly. Go touch grass.
Yeah, I have the cap from how do you say?
From in Denver, right? Yeah.
From the Lens Protocol. Yeah, touch grass.
That's an amazing quote. We have I think it was Marta. It was like helping out at the academy, who would always tell us to go and get sunlight. Classes would end and she would tell us get sunlight and invite us to go outside and just walk around for a bit and maybe touch grass.
But don't forget sunscreen. Mama Martha.
Yeah, but we were talking about like friendships that emerge and how interesting it was to just chat with everyone. So do you have any memorable or funny anecdotes from the academy that you want to share?
Well, I remember pretty well playing a lot of hours with Juan and Valentin to ping pong, maybe 1 hour a day for sure.
I think more.
Even more.
Like after class ended, the hardcore ping pongers were just staying like 4 hours more, until the cleaning people started arriving, telling us, okay, time to go home. We were just going at it,
I remember that the class would end. They would say, okay, you can go outside. And we would look each other with Juan and be like, run to the ping pong table. We have to be first.
Yeah, there was one table, so we had to like hurry up, because the team that won stayed in the table and then another team would come. So it was very important to be first.
But
that's like the opposite of the go touch grass tip. Like stay inside.
In retrospective, I should have
from computer to ping pong table.
Yeah.
But definitely we have a good time there because we start talking about other things when you wait to play and all that stuff. So it's great. We have a great time playing ping pong.
I think that's a good thing to mention, though, is that like this Polkadot Academy or this Polkadot Blockchain Academy is so well organized, and like it's crazy that, for example, the first wave we were all flew to Cambridge and we were staying in this, Cambridge College. And well, the second wave was in Buenos Aires. The third wave is going to be in Berkeley. Like besides setting up like the whole curriculum and having teachers, like special people in the blockchain space teaching us, like you are very well taken care of. So it's
maybe go to the gym a bit, because the food is way too good.
Yeah.
They have amazing food every
I was
day.
going to talk about the same thing. What?
Yeah.
But how did you guys do it in the second wave? Like so we, for example, had breakfast and lunch in college, in like our college residence. And then in the evening, we were going to like a restaurant. but like just with ourselves. So how was that in Buenos Aires?
So sorry, I just wanted to add that we were actually like living on campus. So we were eating at the cafeteria for breakfast and for lunch. Yeah.
No, for us it was breakfast, lunch, and then like what we call in Argentina merienda, which is like tea time, I guess, for the British, which is like sweet stuff. All of that
But this was like a dinner. Do you know?
Yeah, it was a lot of food, like big stuff, cakes and alfajores.
Okay, now I want to see pictures. Honestly, you guys need to share pictures after. I'm really curious.
Oh,
So
I
all
have
of
some
that
videos.
was at the university, and then dinner was like, okay, you have to pay for it yourself, but you have the freedom of going anywhere you want in the city. And yeah, it was quite cheap compared to other countries because of some inflation going on in Argentina. I don't know about Berkeley, might be a different story, but yeah, a lot of delivery
you have
going
time
on.
to discover the city a little bit, so that's good.
I want to hear a little bit. Maybe you guys can tell me a little bit about this. The Tim told me an anecdote from Wave 1. Tim Dovey that he brought everyone beer one day just because he wanted to.
Yeah, I think I can remember that, but I don't know what was which day or which week, or what was the
It's all
the
a bit
reason
blurry.
of it.
You guys
just brought
needed
beer.
to chill or what? You guys were too stressed trying to.
Maybe
Too
it was
much
for
beer.
Friday.
You don't remember.
Maybe it was the first Friday.
Maybe Tim
and
brought
he
a bit
just-
too much.
Yeah, so what he told me is that one of the days he saw everyone stressed out and he went straight to the supermarket that was like nearby, filled out a car, he filled it with beers and then just came into Cambridge with a cart full of beers.
Oh, I remember that now that you mentioned. I explicitly remember Tim's voice saying, "Want a beer?"
Well,
Okay,
we had a lot
so-
of talks in the campus. We had a lot of talks, and when there
Oh,
were
really?
talks, we had like one talk per week, I think. So when there was some talks, we have beer and a lot of some DJs and some, I think, a lot of more things I don't remember, but it was pretty funny being there up to night.
Yeah, I think once a week they open the whole place for like outside people for
That's
crypto
right.
events. But to be honest, I was quite tired after all day of studying and ping ponging. So usually I went home to sleep.
Yeah, your muscles were definitely sore from so much
Yes.
workout.
Yeah, my brain was tired,
Actually-
my muscles were sore. So
I
Ready
actually
to bed.
remembered one memorable moment where you were there, Francisco, and I was also coming back from studying until like really late. It was like 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. And when going back to my room, I was hearing some music being played, like some guitars, some people singing, and I went into the the lounge room, and I
Yeah, it
saw
was
you
the
guys basically
JCR.
playing guitar, singing all together, karaoke, and I remember I took a video of that. It was lovely. I mean, it made me appreciate the academy so much because it was a group of maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 people who didn't know each other like just a few weeks before that, right? And from all different countries, all different backgrounds. So that was beautiful to see. I couldn't join you guys because I was too tired from studying Grass and trying to make my code compile, but it was lovely.
Yeah,
Thomas,
I remember you
had-
peeking through the door and just like taking a video and then going away. It was the first gig of the new kids on the blockchain. I remember.
I like that term.
Yeah, we definitely won best name award when we had to create teams, and that was the name of our team for I don't remember which activity.
Nice.
So moving on to because we talked a lot about ping pong and the need to relax. Moving on to the modules. Which one was your favorite module and why? Because there were a lot in the academy.
I would say Substrate, frameless Substrate. because usually if you work in building parachains, runtimes, palettes, whatever, you're gonna use frame, so you're abstracted away from a lot of stuff. So looking at it in the academy was really helpful to see under the hood how Substrate actually works, how it's interacting with the database, the node, the runtime, a lot of stuff under the hood that I really liked.
Definitely Substrate, but I have to say that classes from Gavin Wood was really great. The introduction to cryptography by Gavin Wood and blockchain was perfect for me. Gavin is a great teacher. I didn't know that, but for me was incredible. So I was there just enjoying being there.
Yeah, he's such a good speaker. And also when he talked about like democracy, he started philosophizing a little bit about like the nature of politics and democracy, because that's kind of what Polkadot is about, right? So also really interesting hearing it from Gavin.
I actually wanted to mention the game theory ones, which I don't know if they were the same for you guys. I mean, I love the coding ones. Those were super cool. I mean, it was my first intro to Substrate. But I really like the game theory one because of the way it was designed, where we would have like lessons on the theory, and right after there were actual games to put it into practice. And so sometimes you would get paired up with other people from the class. Sometimes you would know
Really
who they
fun.
are. Sometimes you would not. And then at the end of it, you would see the stats for the games, which would basically prove that we are humans and we're predictable, and we would actually see the results that we had been seeing in theory.
Really
right?
funny,
So,
really funny.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
lost
that's
my
really
faith
I
in
remember.
humanity a bit there, to be honest. I was like, yeah, guys, come on. If we work together, we can get a lot of money, because there was actually money at stake you could win. I was like, come on, guys, let's play fair. We all get more money. Nope.
No.
So there was
have
always
this
one
vivid
person
memory.
who wants to get everything. I was like, okay.
I have this vivid memory of like kind of thinking what the optimum strategy was, and it was this game where like the distribution of power was very uneven. So one of the players, you got paired, two people got paired, and one of the players basically decided how much they would give the other person. And I remember that the optimum strategy was, even if it felt like it wasn't fair, you would take all that you were given, and that was it. Because if you rejected, both of you got nothing. And I remember looking at Dan, and he said, nah, he offered me like 60%, no, 40% instead of 50%. I'm just going to say no.
True, some people are like resentful, like even if I can win a bit, I
Yeah.
prefer to screw you over because you screw over more. So like,
yeah, there was a lot of screwing people over after that.
Yeah, that was great. I remember.
Did you guys have the
No,
NFT auctions?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I remember that was really fun because you would be put into a room with some other people, and you would have this specific type of auction that we saw in the theory, and that you had to bet the money that you won on the previous games to try to win an NFT. And I remember some guys would just go all in and put all their money. I didn't want to waste my money, so I was on the candle auction, and I think I was the one that got an NFT for the least price. I got it for $1 or $2, I think, just because the candle auction stopped right at the start of the counting phase, and I was the one betting on that point. It was a really funny moment.
did you resell it for big bucks?
Well,
I think you cannot transfer them.
That is great, Valentin, because Candle it has how parachains do the action for winning a slot. So that's great because really they merge all the theory in one game, and for me it was incredible. Yeah, I have a really good time learning and playing with some real money for sure.
I think you're never gonna forget that example and how candle auctions work.
Yeah.
After that.
For sure.
For me,
That was
also
all year.
the Polkadot protocol, like to really go in depth in there with Grandpa and like how the parachains get validated and everything. I didn't fully get everything in the lecture hall, but like it was like a lot of that stuff started to click there, because basically that was all I knew before the academy. I've never heard of Frame or Substrate or whatsoever. I just learned about the different, the different blockchain protocols. And when we started to really go in depth with Polkadot, that reminded me as well again that I'm about the fact, like, okay, yeah, this is why Polkadot is so freaking awesome. So yeah, that was also very good.
I have a random question for cohort 2. Did you guys get this or a similar one, a variation of this? Because this is freaking awesome. I actually don't know if you can read it. It says it's getting dot in here.
No,
No, what's that?
Oh,
No.
okay. Now I feel bad for asking you guys.
No, we didn't.
Is that a USB
I
stick
guess-
or what?
No,
I
we
guess
didn't.
maybe Argentina. Maybe in Argentina you had problems with customs, so.
Only
I
we
know
custom.
Oh, yeah. Is that a cold
But yeah.
wallet
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cold
Yeah,
wallet.
so
A ledger.
I just happen to have it right here at my desk. But yeah, this
No.
is amazing. It's getting
No.
dot in here.
Yeah, that was really cool that they engraved that in there.
No, we didn't receive it.
We got water bottles.
Yeah, we got water bottles. And
Yeah.
also,
That's
on the
useful in
first day,
Argentina,
we
though.
did some paintings.
Yeah.
What?
On the first day
Valentin?
of the academy,
Yeah.
on the inauguration day, we did some paintings where we would get a lot of paint, and you could basically had a white canvas and you could paint anything. And on the graduation day, they would give you a random piece of that. So maybe I can show you that one over there, the one, the colorful one, that's mine. So you would get a random piece of the huge white canvas that everyone painted.
Oh, I
That's
really
a-
like the
that's a pretty good
idea.
memory.
Although I would actually like it more if people were painting it almost at the end of the course, because then you know about Substrate, you know more about Polkadot, you know about like
Yeah.
consensus and game theory, and so probably people would make like a lot of different drawings that are like related. So, but that's super
actually good
cool.
feedback, yeah. Because I think it was mostly stencils of Dot and the academy, but if we would have done it at the end, I would have done like these grandpa diagrams for sure. Would be fun.
Or
Yeah, and also like
I
the
would have
internal
done
jokes.
the notes, like you know the all of the validators. Yeah. Sorry, Valentin, you were saying something.
Yeah, also you could have painted some internal jokes or any like symbols related to any anecdote or something like that. That would be a little bit more memorable.
Do you guys know if you would have wanted another, now that you know more, or maybe before there was something you wanted to learn more about and wasn't covered, what module would you have added to the academy?
Zero knowledge proofs.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
totally agree with that.
That would be
That
great,
will make it more impossible, but yeah, that is a good addition.
Yeah, I mean, our preference would be to have the academy 1 week longer and see your knowledge proofs. Then
Yeah, I think also like a bit more experimentation with ink, just because it's a way easier to get in. Like it feels more, I don't know, it's less of a trade jungle than Frame and Substrate, and it's fun. Like honestly, it's really fun.
I remember when I went to the academy, the thing I was most excited to do, I think, was like programming Rust, because I loved it. But the thing I was more excited to learn was zero knowledge proofs. But I didn't expect to learn them at the academy, but I knew that they were being used in blockchain, and I just knew that they were like this magic thing that I wanted to learn more about. And when they were mentioned, I was like, it validated that that was a thing that could be learned. And even if we didn't learn about it in the academy, I did go on to read more things about it because I just found it so cool.
Yeah, I think there's people getting grants from the Web3 Foundation doing zero knowledge stuff. So even if you don't learn at the academy, it's possible to build CK stuff on Polkadot.
Yeah, and not only the ZK, there were also other exotic cryptographic primitives that I didn't know existed. Sort of like verifiable random functions, which we did play around a bit with those, and that was really amazing. Like, I'd say I really liked the cryptography module. Most of the stuff I already knew, but not most of the stuff, like the first half of the first lecture, or maybe the whole first lecture I knew about. And then they started throwing, like, I don't know, Merkle trees, Merkle mountain ranges, ZK proofs, exotic primitives, and I was just fascinated. I didn't get a lot at that moment, but I was fascinated with what they were.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it opened up my eyes how, well, without cryptography, blockchain technology is almost nothing. But like, yeah, that was really cool. I fully agree. I almost forget it again now.
I really liked the Cumulus module, even though most of it went over my head. I would like to have a bit more practical stuff. I mean, it seemed like magic when they started explaining. It was really complex, but that's kind of the core of Polkadot. So yeah, I would like maybe a bit more practical stuff regarding that, so it can cement the knowledge.
I have a fun fact. The person in our class, like we all had trouble with the Cumulus module. The person in our class who best understood Cumulus did not only end up working at Parity, but he actually ended up working with, like, in the department that is behind Cumulus, and also with the guy who actually taught us about Cumulus. So yeah, fun fact.
Yeah, that was great. He had the courage to get up and say, I didn't understand anything. Let's go over it again so that I can actually understand it. And then everyone that wasn't speaking was like, yeah, we didn't understand it either. And then we went over it again, and the whole class benefited so much from that.
Yeah, and he even went on stage and grabbed the whiteboard, right? And like drew it out. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was a great example of like how to figure out something hard. And it was a sort of a collaborative trying to figure out how that works. So now that the academy is over, how do you usually talk to other alumni other than in this instance? How do you get in touch with people from your wave or other waves?
I literally messaged Tom today because of the conference. So I thought, okay, who in the academy? I mean, I posted about the conference obviously there because some people like me travel a lot. So like if you, Francisco, I don't know, host a conference, or you, Dan, maybe host a conference in Germany or Austria, you know, maybe I could visit. So, but yeah, today I was thinking who from the academy actually is in the UK. And so I messaged Tom. So, but before that, actually, Tom had messaged me 1 month ago about something else, like about a course that I did online. So yeah, I would say I still keep in touch with some people from the academy, like every couple months or so. Maybe we write to each other. We're like, what are you up to? Or, you know, LinkedIn, when you add people on LinkedIn, it tells you that they have a new job or whatever. Or I also saw some people starting to work for a Parity a few months after the academy. So obviously I messaged to congratulate them. So yeah, I would say I definitely keep in touch with some people.
For me personally, at Polymech, it's me and Leonardo working. Leonardo is from Wave 1.
Ah, yeah.
So every day I'm with an alumni. Even if I didn't meet him at the academy, still can kind of relate to the struggle. And then, yeah, we have several WhatsApp groups from different people in the academy where we kind of post memes and talk about, did you look at the new upgrade they're doing? Oh my God, they're insane. Oh, what is this? Oh, help me. And yeah. definitely keeping in touch.
Yeah, we have a Latin group in WhatsApp that we speak, well, maybe once a week, and we make mostly jokes. And well, I have a group that I'm working with 3 guys from the academy. We present for a grant, and well, we are working maybe all days in that project.
Yeah, I think for people that work for Parity, it's a lot easier to, it's easier to stay in touch with the people who also work at Parity. So that's nice. But other than that, I have a few guys outside that I'm just very curious what they're doing, because most of them work in blockchain space. Some of them work for, I don't know, Ethereum related projects. And it's just really cool to hear about what they're doing. And yeah, it's nice. I definitely made very good friends over there.
In my case, I just remembered I was checking the element list that, for example, when I visited Singapore, I had lunch with someone else from the academy. So I think that's also fun, like meeting people in their own countries, or like in a country different from the one you met them. So yeah, I would love to hear about that experience, I guess, a few months from now that you might have.
Actually, like, what was it, a month ago? We were talking in the WhatsApp group with the community here in Latin America, and we decided to meet. So all of us, like, it was 7 of us flew to Cordoba, one of the provinces here in Argentina, and we stayed for a whole day and a half there. One of the guys invited us to his house. We stayed there, then we slept there, and in the morning we all flew back to our respective provinces.
That's cool.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So deciding to meet is also I went to a meetup here that they organized, and the guys from Web2 that were from Uruguay were there. So I met them. And also when people go to your country to visit, it's awesome, as Zoe said, to like visit people in their countries that you met at the academy.
Yeah, I definitely want to organize with the people around Switzerland, Italy, especially Gabriele. We've been talking about going a bit maybe to the ocean. I don't know. It would be nice. There should be some sort of group where you organize like specific meetups to say, okay, this day, this part of the world, several months in advance, and you can like book your flight from Singapore to, I don't know, to Berkeley.
Polkadot Decoded, Copenhagen, 1 month.
True. I'm going there, by the way.
Nice shield right
Me
there.
too.
Yeah.
Dan was fast there.
We are too
Fast
far
thinking.
from Argentina. It's too far.
Yeah, if it was a little bit closer, I would go. But I think
Yeah, for sure.
I'll probably go to Sub-Zero whenever.
Yeah,
that
Sub-Zero,
happens.
September, Lisbon, I think. I don't know.
It's in Lisbon again, Sub-Zero.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It was actually in Sub-Zero where I got approached to go to the academy.
Really?
So yeah, I went with my previous
nice.
employer to Sub-Zero, and then I met several people from Parity, and they were like, yeah, we have an academy, you want to come? You're gonna learn a lot, it's fun, it's intensive. Sure.
That's
Best
good.
decision ever made.
Nice. I remember, like, I just got an email saying that there was this academy that was gonna happen, and at first I thought it was spam. Like, yeah, right, it's gonna be in Cambridge, and I'm invited. And then I kept on doing like the tests and the interviews, and there were actual people behind it. It wasn't that long ago since I had learned about Polkadot. So yeah, best decision I ever made to not think it was spam.
Well, here we have the decoding in Argentina, and we went with some friends, and since then I started to follow more of Polkadot, but yeah, we have the lucky to have the Polkadot decoded here.
It's really nice that it's so international, that it's one time in South America, then it's in Europe, then it's North America. It's nice. It lets people from all over the world participate in the ecosystem.
I think we should wrap up here. So thank you, everyone. And thank you,
Thanks a lot.
Alexandra.
So when is this new academy coming? It's almost, right?
Oh yeah, it's 10th of July to 10th of August in Berkeley.
Well, good luck for the people that will go there, and to the future ones that will watch this video because they are too nervous and want to see people talking about the academy.
Yeah.
It will be great.
Yes, for sure.
You'll work very hard, but it will be worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. And it is possible. You will make friends.
And we're still alive, at least most of us.
We
Yeah, these are
survived.
not AI generated voices and faces of us. Not yet.
We don't know. We don't know. Maybe one of
Yeah,
us.
neither do you.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Ah, okay.
Do you remember the one we are playing ping pong all day?
Ping Pong Academy.
Italian.
Yeah, Ping Pong Academy. That's another one.
Yeah.
A bit too much ping pong maybe, but was
A
a
little
good,
bit too much.
a good outlet for all the stress. You know, I just left everything there on the court.
Yeah, but I will never forget our match Juan against Gavin Wood. That was just epic.
Yeah, I got him good.
Is he a good ping pong player?
He was better than I thought. You know, he was doing some crazy moves, but he got him in the end.
He learned them in the metaverse, I'm sure.
He got the Latin American power or not?
Yeah.
We taught him how we do things here in South America.